quick heads up before the video, I have merch over on my Redbubble. Link is in the description. Hiya, I'm Paranoid Rat, and I'm back with another video and more art for you to eat. Feast, my ratlings. Your Rat King demands it of you. So if you aren't new here and follow me on Instagram or see my community posts here, I'm sure you know that my brain is locked on X-Men and it will not let go. I refuse to. It's basically been the only thing I can think about or draw. So I've been trying to come up with ways to work this into videos, which led me to think I should redesign some of the characters in my style. I really love looking at redesigns of X-Men characters, as everyone kind of like makes them their own whenever they draw them. So I thought, why not give it a shot myself? And especially as I've been watching X-Men 97 and the old cartoons and stuff, I've been extra inspired to take a stab at these characters myself. Let's get drawing as I talk about this thing I'm extremely normal about. It's fine. So starting off, I thought I would draw Scott Summers, also known as Cyclops. This might be one of the designs I ended up being the happiest with in the end. For all of these, I initially began sketching in my sketchbook to get a general idea of what I wanted to do. I really wanted to take my time on these and really do them justice, and I spent a lot of time focused on the silhouette and shape language, and just reworking things and doing a lot of little sketches to make it exactly how I want. It's been a long time since I really sat down and took my time on some character designs like this, so this was actually really refreshing and really fun, because, like I said, it's been a long time, and I love doing character designs in my sketchbook. I really do. For Scott here, I decided I really wanted to use blockier shapes for him, using squares and rectangles where I could. As a character, he's kind of rigid when it comes to his beliefs and protecting the other X-Men, and in the cartoons and things, he's like a steady figure and like pillar of the group. So using sturdier and less dynamic shapes honestly felt really fitting for him. He also kind of gives like mom friend energy, which makes me laugh. I also really tried to make his boots bigger and more like bottom heavy, I guess, in his design. And again, this is meant to create that like sturdy foundation in a very visual way for his design. And again, for these designs, I really wanted to lean into them as much as possible and really dramatize the aspects of this character design, which I don't do as often, just because it takes time and more mental effort, and I sometimes don't have that or don't want to. But for these, I was really making an effort to have those aspects of the designs really like played up and dramatized for that silhouette and making it stronger all over. In the movies, I actually really like the casting of Cyclops in this. The guy who plays him doesn't quite have the gravitas of Cyclops from like the other content, but I still kind of like him just being a little bit pathetic in the movies. It's funny to me and I enjoy it. And I actually kind of love him as a character. Typically this character is one that this sort of character, I suppose, is something I kind of hate or just don't really care about. But for some reason, I really love Scott / Cyclops as a character. For some reason, I don't know why. Now, I despise Jean Grey. With everything in me, and we don't talk about her. That I could make an entire other video ranting about how much I don't like Jean. The hours I've spent explaining to people why I don't like Jean is excessive, and we don't need to go there. I should also state here that I full-heartedly ship Scott and Logan, and take no criticism at all. Hence the fan art I posted the other day. We don't talk about that. Also on these designs, I wanted to make some like alternative normal clothes outfits. Again, I try to stick to the general shape language and silhouette, so he's still recognizable. One thing I did struggle with on all of these designs were the colors. I'm not very used to using yellow very much, but it was too iconic to not use, and it complements the blue on him very well, and I didn't want him to be like unrecognizable, but I'm actually really proud of this in the end, and happy with how it turned out, so I count it as a win in my books. I spent a lot of time on this. I'm very happy with it. And of course, my next one was Logan. Logan is my favorite. He is precious. I adore him with everything in me. He's my comfort character at this point. I'm normal. My design for him here was definitely taking more from his original comic and cartoon look, just because I love this Short King, and I wanted to stray a bit more from, like, the live-action Marvel version that's been really popular right now, because I do really like that, but I wanted to keep this one more mine, I suppose. So where Scott's design was focused around, like, rectangles and squares, I used a lot of, like, sharper edges and triangles for Wolverine. When I do superhero designs like these ever, it's always, like, a weird balance, or even doesn't have to be superhero, like anything in this genre, I suppose. It's a weird balance of function over style. And I try to find an in-between, because if I made everything, like, purely out of, like, what would be functional, it might not always look very good. And for designs, like, I want them to be very visually pleasing, but at the same time, I don't want it to just be all fancy shit, because I also, it's important to me that there is a level of thought and actual, like, function put into these designs. So that is it's a weird line to walk. The thing I'm still iffy about is the pants. I was trying to keep this silhouette more unique, and the yellow spandex of the original just doesn't really feel like his characters. And I did like that in his suit for the movies, he's wearing pants that don't tuck into his boots. I don't know, it suits him, and a lot of his, like, kind of similar to how he dresses outside of his, like, X-Men costume. So I wanted to use that. And again, mine is meant to be a lot more stylized, so having it fan out like that is a style choice, I guess. I don't really have any idea anymore. I'm also still iffy on the shoes. For some weird reason, shoes and boots have been my enemy for years. I don't know why, but they always have been, and I fear they always will be. See, whenever I draw, like, the boots and for characters or whatever, I want them to be, like, unique or whatever, so they aren't, like, wearing the exact same thing. But the more, like, unique I try to make them, the stupider they look. And it's hard for me if I'm making something that's, like, not, like, totally modern, like, normal day stuff. If it's not, like, if it isn't, like, normal things like Converse or, like, Doc Martens or something, or tennis shoes, once it goes out of that, it's, like, really hard for me to think about, like, what that character would actually wear. It's a weird thing I've always struggled with, and this was no exception. So yeah, the shoes look kind of stupid, and I might just be being weird about it, but just don't look at his feet, please. I mean, please don't do that, Norm. I'm gonna move on. His mask also gave me a lot of beef. In all of the sketches I did prior to this, it was really difficult for me, and probably just because of how I proportion eyes, so to make it, like, look good, it's still weird. I'm working on it. It's fine. I think I figured out something I don't hate. I think it looks decent in the end. So for his street clothes outfits, those were a lot easier. I didn't really design anything new for him because I really like his normal clothes are, like, really iconic, and I really like them. So and they're really fitting for him, so why change them? So on one side we have our depressed lumberjack Canadian, and on the other we have the obligatory slutty white tank top tucked into the jeans. Again, where I could, I tried to use triangles and sharp edges, and just because for his character. And see, I can make a whole video analyzing this guy's character, but in loose summary, on the surface he's, like, the big, strong, tough guy, but under that surface he's actually cares really deeply for the other characters and cast, and has really close relationships with everybody that he's really loyal to, and they're, like, unique for every different person and personalized to what they need, essentially. And he just has, like, he has a softer side that he doesn't really know how to show often, but every once in a while you see it come out, and I don't know, it makes me happy. I love him as a character. I could go on and on. So just I also, like, just kind of threw in some, like, softer shapes more on, like, the interior of his design, if that makes sense. Where on the edges it's, like, the sharper triangles and angles, but whenever the shapes that are within those exterior lines, I did try to include some, like, softer corners. Just, it's subtle, it's small, I like putting thought into the weird things like that, so it was fun. I like it. I don't think that's something anybody else would really notice or pinpoint, but that's the thought that was going in there from my heart, so it's there. And again, the colors on this gave me a lot of shit too. I hate working with yellow, but it's fine, I survived. And I made the stupid mistake of making his flannel red initially, which threw off all the contrast and the balance of the primary colors. And then I was watching the cartoon from the 90s at 2 in the morning when it hit me that the flannel would look a lot better yellow. And I could not sleep until I fixed it. It's fine. It looks good now. I'm happy. It's okay. The yellow looks better. And lastly, we have Rogue. I adore Rogue. She's amazing. She's epic. We stand for Rogue. The movie kind of ruined her a little bit, so please, if you've only ever seen the X-Men movies, please don't judge her by those. Go watch the old cartoons or X-Men 97 or something. She's amazing. I love her. I knew from the start I really wanted to make her design take up a lot of space. I wanted her hair to be big and fluffy, her jacket prominent and bulky, big hips and hip dips, and tall, long legs, and goddamn, I stuck to it. She really is a powerful character, and I wanted her design to really reflect that. I probably changed the least on this one, but it was still fun to do and play with the proportions and shapes. I did toss around giving her big, bulky pants on her actual superhero look, but as much as I like them, her silhouette is a lot better by not cluttering it up too much because it's kind of top heavy just in the design. The shape language for her was a lot less specific, but I'm still really thrilled with the end result I have here. I was unsure about her boots. Again, shoes suck. See, the platform heels of the original feel kind of much, but damn, do they look good. Again, that question of style over function, but since she can fly, walking isn't, absolutely necessary. So I'll allow it. I'll allow them for this one. Also, I stand for tall, commanding women in heels. They can have my soul. I have no dignity. I don't care. For her everyday clothes, I actually had a lot more fun and freedom with this. I looked around seeing what other people have done for her, but she doesn't really have an iconic other outfit. So I was kind of free to interpret it as I want. So I brought back the cargo pants for this. And she looks hella good in a crop top, and it, resembles her, superhero silhouette look a lot more, so I'm keeping that in. I also did bring over the tall elbow gloves that she wears in the movie. I think they look good and make sense for her. So those were a fun addition. Okay, but the colors on this one were rough. So not only do I struggle with yellow, but that shade of green she wears on her super suit brings my eyes pain. Pain, I say. I couldn't bring myself to use it, so I had to alter it a lot. I really love green, and actually, I love it, and especially using it in my designs. But that shade makes my eyes want to throw up. I really like using duller greens that are either more yellowish or brown, so I ended up doing that and finally settled on something that didn't make me want to die. I'm a little frustrated with the contrast of her jacket and her hair, though. Her hair color is very inconsistent, ranging everywhere from bright red to dark brown. The red looks good with the other colors, but there's already a surplus of red-headed X-Men for some reason, so I wanted it brown. But that means that the dark green on her jacket and the brown of her hair are a bit samey in tone, so I would need to make one darker than the other to fix that. Maybe I'll go back and fix it. Maybe I won't. I didn't really realize how much I kind of hated it and bothered me until I'm staring at it right now for way too long trying to write this script. It's fine. I'm okay. Maybe I'll fix it. Maybe I won't. Anyways, those are my X-Men designs. I will be doing a part 2 soon because I have more characters I must draw and I will not be stopped. If you guys have any specific characters you'd like to see me redesign, X-Men or not, actually, please comment below. I love hearing from you guys for suggestions for videos, so it gives me a good idea of what you guys actually would like to watch, I suppose. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a ton of fun on these, and you guys can probably expect more X-Men content, because I seem to be physically incapable of drawing anything original anymore, and all of my OCs have gone dormant. But X-Men is here. X-Men comforts me. X-Men saves me from the demons. If you like this video, any engagement is appreciated and helps me a ton. So yeah, thank you for watching to the end of my ramble, I suppose. The weekly sewer rat meeting has ended. You are free to leave now. Till next week. Ciao.